It's funny. A lot of us, it's about nostalgia. When you get older, a lot of it is about nostalgia when you were young and so forth. So I had the president of the Charleston River Dogs come in here for a tour. He brought another guy with him, and I'm showing him like these rare Hannes Wagners, and I'm all excited to show him these rare cards. And the one thing he was enamored with was this old card footlocker that we had when we were kids, because he had one when he was a kid.
Okay.
And he couldn't quit looking and talking about it. And I was laughing. Some people, there's other things more important than money. I just want to point this out. You will see a lot of the guys in the vintage world who are older, and they don't care so much about the money, like younger up and coming people who haven't made it yet. A lot of these guys are really wealthy, and so dropping $30,000 on a card doesn't phase them. And when you get older, you don't have that much shit to do. I used to live in Miami and go to clubbing and have bottle service next to Fat Joe and run around. And, when I was young,
hey now,
I spent my money on all kind of things, cars, whatever. When you get older, there's not that much to do. You're settled, and you just keep making the money, but you're not spending anything. And so older guys have a lot more disposable income in general. There's certainly wealthy young people too, but I think that people fail to see that. And that's why, it's just turn off to hear about the money, especially if you have a lot.
Or not a lot. The opposite side goes as well. If I don't, what do I want to see?
Well, that too.
50,000 is what most people make in a year. They're rolling their eyes. They're saying, screw you to that kind of content, in my opinion.
No, it creates, there is certainly, that, oh my God, throw it in my face kind of mentality, the chains and this and that. And that's not fun for a lot of people to watch. It's just not.
I just want to make sure I go back. So I agree with you 100%. There's no competition. It's not the competition thing with those channels. It's that they misrepresent the hobby. And that just, to me, and that's what inspired me.
Well, it's a different hobby. There's two different hobbies now.
It's a hobby of greed and money.
Yeah. Your hobby's selling and flipping and whatever. It's a totally different hobby. There's two hobbies now. That's just the way it is. There's no longer one hobby. And then you have like the hybrids who do a little of both.
Okay, so I have a little more couple things going the negative route. So let's be positive for a minute. What is your favorite thing or the best thing about sports cards or the hobby right now?
I think the best thing is the education availability. Years ago, I didn't know how rare cards were, and now we have pop reports. And with YouTube and all these card shows and everything, we are all exposed to so much. I was just talking with somebody on a video I did, and we were talking about when we first came onto YouTube, we were showing these vintage cards we thought were pretty common, and everybody was like, oh, I never saw those before. I never saw those before. And now here we are years later, and everybody's collecting those sets. So they're much more known. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing, because now I have to pay a little more money for those cards. But I think that it's wonderful. When I used to collect in obscurity, and when I was young, a little kid, I just had to learn about these kind of on my own, out of books or magazines or whatever. And so the education aspect and just the visibility aspect is very positive. It's like that $12 million card that sold. There's good and bad in it. There's bad, and then it's just going to attract more of the stuff you and I don't care for. But it's good in the overall visibility. I remember when the T206 Hannes Wagner sold to Gretzky. Man, the buzz that caused in the sports, for sports cards was sensational. And the other thing is you used to be like a nerd to collect cards.